Yo, what's going on? Yo. And that's the start of the game, apparently. Some miscommunication up here in the booth.
So James Drysdale there with the big catch over Jonathan Maheu. So I believe it's going to be a touchdown.
There's a penalty. Also, welcome to Co-Ed 1.
Yeah, all right. Co-Ed 1 championship game between 10-0 Northern Braves and the 7-3 Fast Not Furious.
Yeah. A little bit of a technical glitch on our end, but it's all good. Love to see Fast Not Furious being so aggressive to start the game, Brett.
I mean, they should call themselves fast and aggressive right there. I mean,
That's true.
Saw Drysdale, big goal route down the sideline. So the reason why they're not calling it a touchdown is he was pushed out of bounds, and he landed, one of his feet were out of bounds when he landed. So it's going to be first and goal from the 1 yard line. Well,
Yeah, it looks like it. It's going to be pass interference, so there we go. Yeah, I've seen enough of those movies. That was both Fast and Furious. So, right.
Good job, Vin.
I believe I prefer the formal Vincent to Diesel.
Here we go now. Dobbs with the snap to Gibbon. Gibbon looks to his left. He ends up throwing it to Dobbs. Bobbled it. Gone on the second effort.
Should it count if it's bobbled as a catch?
No, because you never have firm control of it. You
There
have
we
to
go.
have control.
There we go.
So
Maybe
now,
Dobbs
now,
is
yeah, it's a touchdown. Now, Sean Majesty just called it a touchdown.
Is it okay? Wait, there's some confusion. It's not just in the booth. It's on the field as well.
Call him Sean. That's actually Bruce Hogan. My apologies to Sean.
Yeah, murder face in here. Murder face in here today.
So there's a 6-0 lead for the Fast Not Furious.
Yeah, Joe Mayo seemed to be a little confused there. He thought it was deflagged outside the end zone.
As did we.
1 point convert upcoming.
Gibbon gets a snap. He looks to his left again. Nice
Great
catch there by Alan Beckles. Right in front of Mike Pearson.
Kalen Beckles has to be the greatest pickup for any team in any division, I think. For Fast Not Furious, it really gave them a depth of receivers, being that you have to play two females. But Kalen Beckles, it's not just that she's a great female receiver. She's a great receiver, period.
Well, that's exactly it. I've seen her. I've covered a lot of co-ed and women's divisions games this year. She's great on offense. She's fantastic on defense. You line her up at safety. She has the speed to get across field and make a play on a ball.
And she caught that ball in front of one of the best flat defenders in FPF history,
Exactly.
Mike Pearson.
Hall of Famer Mike Pearson.
Was he first ballot?
I believe so.
If not, he's a slacker.
I believe so. So Pearson gets a snap now over to Maheu. Nice catch there by Chrissy Loison.
Joe Mayo's ball placement is ridiculous. He sees the defender sitting on what would be sort of the left side in the open position of the receiver, throws it inside, making it impossible for the defender to get there. He's got that. That has to be his best skill and the best quarterback ever to do in FPF in terms of placing the ball in the right spot.
So he gets a snap now. Second down, low pass right there. As you talked about his ball placement, he throws a bit of a dirt ball.
Yeah,
right there to
every time, right? Like if I'm going to say it, the next ball won't be good, right?
Maybe hit the scoreboard on the next play.
Yeah, come on, Joe, step it up. Next ball, of course, will be played perfectly, and whatever we say is wrong. Coming into this game, we'll talk about the next play, I guess, Brent, as it is now second down for Northern Braves. Ball thrown to the outside is caught, and a quick deflag.
That good catch there by Chris Vero. For him, that is his fifth catch of the postseason.
And his second finals game. He took a home championship earlier today. This time playing receiver here with Northern Braves. Northern Braves keep mining, I guess, that trove in Terrebonne, and
Exactly.
players not quite known yet to FPF, and Chris Vero has had a huge impact already with his time here.
So gets
It's not 7-0 for Braves for those watching at home.
He's running to the end
It's
zone. Can
7-0
he get
for Fast and
in?
Furious.
He's deflagged by Drysdale at about the 1, maybe 2 yard line. No, let's make it the 1. Good job there by Maheu. Realized nothing was open right there. PC just took off and ran.
Yeah, we talked about heading into this game the depth from the female players on Fast and Furious versus the top end talent at Northern Braves. Who do you think that benefits more, Brent?
I think that benefits the Northern Braves. I'd have to say, listen, this is a team that's, you look at the core, Mike Pearson, obviously Jonathan Maheu, the leader, the quarterback of this team. He's on, he has his girlfriend on the team, Lauriane Beauchamp. She's a heck of a player.
She's
as well.
ridiculous also, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Tamara Journeau as well. She's a great player. I mean, usually you have Georges Garapie as well, but he's out of this game due to injury. Pass to the left corner of the end zone is over the head of the receiver.
See, that's George Garapie's spot on this offense normally. And if that ball's thrown to George Garapie, like you can throw it into space and it won't be overthrown to George Garapie. So like that's probably a touchdown there normally. But Chris Ferrell, great effort nonetheless to try and come down with that. Third down, I believe. Like that's the thing. I've done play-by-play earlier today, Brent. I'm telling you, remembering the downs isn't as intuitive as people think because we got a lot of things to consider when we're calling the play. So we'll try to keep you updated. But it is, I believe, 3rd and goal.
So he gets snapped. Looks at Pearson right away, and it's knocked away. Rachel
Valier,
big defensive play, and she's a player piece. I'll tell you, I had a chance to watch her throughout multiple times this season. She's a great defender. She's played on multiple levels here in FPF this season.
she has she has to have one of the top ever interceptions per game ratio I've ever seen at any level. Her ability to get her hand in on that play was ridiculous. She covers so much ground. She's such an intuitive defender, and we saw it in that play.
So she has a lot of length, too, which she uses to her advantage. 5 pass deflections in the regular season. This is her first of the postseason for Valier.
Looks like it's 4th down here.
Yeah, 4th. Mahir gets a snap. He looks to his left. Throws a bullet.
It doesn't
Caught.
matter.
Touchdown by Vero.
So overthrew Vero on 2nd down. Doesn't matter. Touchdown. Look, if you're going to give Joe Mahir 4 chances from the 1-yard line, he's going to punch it in way more often than not.
There you go. So a 7-6 lead right now for Fast Not Furious. And now they're going to go for 2, as is the forte of Mahir and all of his Brave squads.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gives you more to work with, and it does change how the defense can defend you in the red zone. It's not a terrible strategy. We've seen it more and more in FPF as Mahir looks to throw it back. Now Vero throwing it back to Mahir.
Back to Mahir. He also has Beauchamp on his right. Pass to the right corner of the end zone. Chrissy Loiseau could have come down with it. Knocked away by Kwesi Gordon-Mall.
That ball came out of Mahir's hand a little oddly. It's strange to see a ball not come out of Mahir's hand in a perfect spiral, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Again, listen, he's one of the top quarterbacks. I mean, you have Kevin Wyeth, who's a GOAT, but I mean, Mahir is easily number 2 at worst number 3 in the entire league, and I really don't think he's even number 3. I think he's solid right there.
Yeah,
2.
it's like when Elijah and Ewing were in the league at the same time. Like Ewing was number 2.
Exactly. I guess.
I know you can't say it. I know you can't say it, Brett.
My name for my next one last night, I'm happy.
That's true.
So now Gibbon gets a snap. He's going deep again. Touchdown, Drysdale.
If they're going to keep not covering James Drysdale on the sideline, that's going to keep happening. Miles Gibbon, like we talked a lot about Joe Mahir, but Miles Gibbon is one of the most natural deep throwers in FPF. We talked about on the broadcast, on the Calling the Audible, that sometimes he struggles hitting that intermediate routes because of the sort of the spacing in FPF is a little different from tackle, obviously. But if you're going to give him deep ball, the deep sideline the entire game, that's going to be something to watch out for.
And the Braves are going to have to watch out for that matchup for Drysdale. Now Gibbon gets a snap over to Gordon Mall. Nice leaping catch in the back of the end zone for the 1-point convert. It's now a 14-6 lead for Fast Not Furious.
Kwesi Gordon-Mall also incredibly quick and changed the direction. We know, of course, about his U Sports returning days. But what's undervalued, I believe, when it comes to Kwesi Gordon-Mall is his ability in the air, his route running. He's really a well-rounded receiver.
Yeah, definitely. He has speed. He doesn't have the size, but he makes up for in speeds.
But he plays so much bigger than he is.
Well, that's exactly it. He's extremely precise with his route running, and that makes a huge difference no matter how big you are or how small you are when you play receiver. So here now gets a snap on 1st down. Oh, he avoids the sack. Lofter over to Pierce, who makes the catch and avoids the tackle. No, actually, Valier made the tackle right there. So good.
She almost got there in time to pick it off.
Yeah. So dangerous pass there by Mahir.
Maybe a little lackadaisical. I love Joe Mahir's demeanor, that he never looks worried, never looks frazzled, never looks like the defense is bothering him at all. But maybe a little too lackadaisical there.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch him with the Braves 2.0 in their Division B semifinal game last Sunday in Lachino. Finish my thought after. Verov, nice catch on the sideline. He's tackled by Drysdale and McPherson.
That short sideline has been there so far the entire game for Northern Braves. I wonder if they're going to change that up or if Tyler McPherson will start playing that a little tighter.
Yeah, he might have to. And how surprised you right now that you don't see McPherson, who's much taller than James Drysdale, going up against Creasy Loison, who is definitely the tallest receiver on this Northern Braves team?
Mike Preston with the catch in the middle. I will say typically I've played against the Fast and Furious franchise before. I played against Tyler McPherson a lot. He plays the corner position pretty much on every defense. That's just his spot. You know what I mean? Like, corners that don't travel.
Yeah.
Tyler McPherson's a corner that doesn't travel.
Okay, there you go.
He's a staycation dude. He's not a vacation dude.
So it's second and about 3 right now, maybe 4. Right here, give me some last-minute instruction to Pearson, who gives him the snap. Quick slam pass to Vero. Gets past one tackle. Can he get past another? He does. Touchdown, Northern Braves.
Yeah, Vero is he's a fire hydrant. He's a fire hydrant with legs. He's got a low center of gravity. He's a thick dude, but he's a lot quicker than people would guess just by looking at him. And he's really strong. He's got a really strong upper body, so you can throw him in tight spaces like you saw there. 14-12, Fast Not Furious, up over Northern Braves. But now I believe, as always, Joe Mayo will be going for 2.
And there you go. So let's see if they can get it now. Base formation. Gets the snap. He looks to his left. Vero dropping back as the option quarterback. He gets the ball. Toss to Pearson, way over his head.
Yeah, they got to remember, Jean Canopy is not here. Mike Pearson is great at a lot of things. Being tall is not one of them. The the thing that we talked about on the show with Iggy and Calling the Audible is that as talented as Fast and Furious is, they don't have a lot of Division 1 and 2 experience outside of James Drysdale. Instead, what you see with Northern Braves is, of course, Joe Maheu and Mike Pearson and the slew of players that they have playing with the Braves. I'll get your thoughts after this play, Brent, about what you think and whether or not that factors into a game like this. But for now, we'll throw it down to first down.
So Gibbon now waiting for the snap. Gets it from Dobbs. Gibbon now looking to his right. He's going deep again. It's on the Quasi go to Mo. Touchdown! The right sideline, the deep row has come back to bite the Northern Braves again for the 3rd time in a row.
So is Miles Gibbon 3 for 3 with 3 touchdowns on 3 sideline fades? That's insane.
That's what it looks like. So, Pete, I'm going to ask you now, if you're the Northern Braves, what are you doing right here? Because
you're pushing the receiver out of bounds before he passes you. Like, come on, this is a guy like Sebastian Christine Lozon has played Division 1, has played Division 2. I'm surprised he's not using that physicality. The thing is, I will say this, despite the size advantage perhaps that we see from Northern Braves and the experience, Fast and Furious definitely have the speed advantage over Northern Braves.
Yeah, Creasy Lozon, a former Sherbrooke Verrier player as well, so physicality for him shouldn't be a thing. It'll be a flag. We're here, might be an offside. Yep, false start going against Fast Not Furious, so that'll drop them back 5 yards.
Yeah, and like we said, there's the thing that Miles Gibbon does the best. The 2 things he does the best is throwing a fastball into an in-breaking receiver in tight coverage, or laying out that beautiful sideline pass. He's just as good as it gets when it comes to that. You need to make adjustments if you're the Northern Braves.
And Gibbon, it's good to see him back. I mean, he was injured. I watched one of his games in Division 1 with the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
He had, I believe it was a groin injury. He was out for a couple of weeks there. He had trouble even walking afterwards, as anyone with a groin injury can relate. He was out for a couple of weeks, so it's nice to see him finally back here. Pass to the end zone. That's way over the head of Marvin Steinberg. I don't think George Garapi would have caught that pass.
No, not at all. Not at all. The thing is, with I did comment on the article I posted this morning with your recaps as well, Jeff Rosenblatt's this morning. For those who haven't yet checked it out, it's a little look at how we got here to the finals. I did talk about how quickly Miles Gibbon recovered from his injury and how much faster his hamstring healed than Mo Khan's ego, and how he hasn't returned to throwing an FPF. So, really impressive by Miles Gibbon.
I mean, as long as Mo Khan is in danger of breaking a nail while throwing a football,
he won't do it. He won't do it.
Mo Khan, the Jimmy G of FPF.
That ball thrown away by Joe Mayo.
Right now, the Fast and Furious defense, they're calling for intentional grounding right there. There was no receiver really in the area for the Braves.
I mean, yeah, sure. He wasn't really in danger of getting sacked. The concept wasn't there. That's fair play to me. That said, I will say Fast and Furious will often call for anything. So, not surprising.
Speaking of calls, the 3 officials for this game, Jason Leclerc, Bruce Hogan, and Brent Young, working this Co-Ed 1 championship game. right here, Broussard. Mahir gets a snap now on second down, throwing, and it bounces off the arm of Vero. That pass was just a little bit off target from Mahir.
Yeah, Vero dug his heels in. Great route, but he lost his footing. I think if he keeps his feet together, that matchup of Tyler McPherson on Charles Velo is going to be a lot to watch out for. Charles Velo is very smooth in turning his hips. That's a thing Tyler McPherson can struggle with at times in tight spaces. He's really good at taking away, that deep sideline fade like we're seeing Fast and Furious hit, but he struggles in those tight windows.
Okay, Allen Beckles on the rush. She got there. She didn't get the sack, but she caused that quick throw by Mahir.
Fourth down.
Off the turf. Yep, fourth down is right. So big opportunity right here for Fast and Furious to get a turnover on downs, because obviously I don't think the Northern Braves are going to be punting here.
Come on, what's a punt?
Exactly.
If you gain 1 yard in FPF, it's not worth it to punt. That's been my philosophy forever, and I still believe it. There's just not enough field to make punting worthwhile. Jomeu, I don't think has ever punted, will never punt, cannot spell the word punt, doesn't know what it means. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, no punts this season for the Northern Braves. Fast and Furious has punted once the entire season.
Yeah, and that's even that shocking.
And Allen Beckles is going to have to reset. She does. Pass over.
But there is a flag on the play.
I believe it. So they're going to say, I believe, that she was offside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks like it.
So it looks like Kia Allen Beckles, looks like she tried to set herself back. She didn't get back far enough to the 7-yard mark where all rushers have to line up at before every snap.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised how much K.L. Beckles has bothered Jomeu. He threw that one a little off his back foot. Jomeu had thrown a couple of balls here that don't look like Jomeu's balls. I'm sorry, that's the only way. That's where my sentence ended. I realized it was weird. I couldn't get out of it.
Well, you're right, though. I mean, she's, again, one of the fastest players in all of FPF, not just on the field here tonight, but one of the fastest players in all of FPF. I said before, I've seen her play safety. I've seen her play receiver. I've seen her play rush. There's a reason why she can play multiple positions here. Yeah,
she's incredible. Again, it's just shocking to me because Joma is used to going up against the best rushers in all of FPF. So kudos to Kea so far.
Oh, and that pass almost picked off right there by Gordon Mall. It was intended for Beauchamp.
I honestly, I see that. And if you can run a smash out and up with them undercutting those routes, that could be the next thing that Joma attacks, because they're undercutting the outs very aggressively.
Yeah. And pardon me, actually, that wasn't Beauchamp. That was Clara Baudouin.
Yeah, that's it.
Who was the intended target on that pass. So turnover on downs right here. A big opportunity right now. Pease, if you're Miles Gibbon, what are you calling in a huddle?
Sideline fade, because they haven't covered it once. That said, it is a little bit tighter. So maybe just even a hook to the outside, given how deep Northern Braves are playing right now.
So Gibbons gets a snap. He goes to his left. The opposite sideline now.
This time they rotated Jomai over the top of James Drysdale. I do think if he runs a comeback, that's not a way that you can defend that. So now that they've seen that fade, maybe play off that and find a way to attack that sideline at the intermediate level.
So we saw Gordon Mall for pickup of 9 right there. Knocking back, Mike Pearson was trying to make the tackle look like he was trying to draw a flag there. A little bit of an acting job right there by Pearson.
Oh, I've played with Mike. He's Oscar award-winning actor.
Definitely.
Not only first ballot Hall of Famer, Oscar award-winning actor.
Gibbon now waiting for the snap on second down. He gets it. He looks to his right. Now over the middle. Oh. And that pass is caught out of bounds by Vero, so there'll be no INT. The original pass that was intended for Allen Beckles.
Beckles there, maybe a little bit of inexperience in FPF here. She had the inside shade available to her. She still ran her pattern over the top of her defender. It made Gibbons have to hold the ball an extra half second and made the window really tight. If she cut that in a little bit, Gibbon was staring it down. He would have hit her. It would have been a touchdown immediately.
These two teams, two of the best offenses in Co-Ed 1. The Braves 410 points to lead all teams. Fast on Furious, and the pass right there to Allen Beckles. That's knocked down by Beauchamp. 328 points for Fast Not Furious, so both teams top-rated offenses.
Yeah, for sure.
Game.
It's been impressive to see so far. That's I want to say that ball was to Jessica Bostappen before, not K. Allen Beckles. My mistake. On the previous play.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So Gibbon now waiting to snap. He gets it. Looks to his left. Quick slant there to go to Maul. Tackled, though, before getting into the end zone by Mike Pearson.
And that's
first down, though. First down for Fast Not Furious.
Great defensive play there by Mike Pearson. He couldn't get to the ball, but made sure to give his defense another chance to get the stop. Ryan Dobbs, you mentioned in on snap, he's playing in this game with a little bit of heavy heart. His grandfather passed away. Of course, our thoughts are with him and the Dobbs family. And a lot of courage to show up and play. We all handle grief in our way, and I would imagine for Ryan, this is a somewhat cathartic experience.
Yeah, definitely. Able to get his mind off of what's going on at home, obviously, and get onto the football field. Let's see if he can lead his team to a win. Giving the boys the rush. Bullet to the end zone. Caught by Gordon Mall for the touchdown.
It's 2 times where Kwesi Gordon Mall makes a catch in the air for a touchdown. It's not even a thing that people most think about him. We talked about it earlier. He's known for how great he is with the ball in space. He's great. He's known for taking the top off the defense. Here, the great body control, going to attack the ball at the highest point. Not being the tallest guy on the field, it really shows you the ability he has.
And as a quarterback, obviously you're a QB in this league. When you have those shorter receivers, like, how much do you want to throw the ball high for those shorter guys? Obviously, Gordon Mall's an exception with his ability to.
That's
leap
what I'm
up
saying.
in the air.
If they can go up and get it, short guys, it's basically just a tall guy without a ladder.
Giving us a snap now back in the end zone. See, that pass to the much taller Drysdale was a little too high.
There we go. There we go. He got too confident. He had Ryan Dobbs right in front of the end zone. He should have just put it in his chest. Put it right between the 11.
So 26-12 now is the lead for Fast Not Furious over the Northern Braves. The Northern Braves, P's, coming into this game, they're calling quick offense right here. They're undefeated. They're 10-0 on the season. But they're down by 2 scores.
Yeah. A little bit surprising. Like we said, Joe Mayo has not been himself. And it's been, actually, that's, I want to make sure we get this right. I think it's been Jessica Westappen rushing the entire time. She's in at rush here. Yeah. Ball thrown out to the right slot as well. Smart play by Joe Mayo, getting the ball to his receivers quickly, getting as many plays in as possible. The time, of course, unofficial, but it looks to be just outside 5 plays here.
And Braves trying to get this offense running quickly. And a big sack right there by Bonstappen, her 6th of the postseason. The reigning defensive player of the year in Co-Ed 1 shows why she is exactly that right there for a huge sack.
Absolutely. She's, now this all starts to make a little more sense because, as fast as Kay Allen Beckles is, Jessica Bonstappen is not just fast. She's probably, one of the top tier rushers in FPF at this moment.
21 sacks in the regular season. She's showing it right there. Again, her 6th of the postseason. That is impressive.
And honestly, like a little bit of a coverage sack there because Joe Maher had nowhere to go. But Joe Maher is so good at throwing away the ball when he doesn't have anything. And he didn't even have the chance to do that.
Joe Maher gets a snap now. His team back way up. Vero to catch over the middle, trying to shake past the tackle of Steinberg. He's taken down, though, by Gordon Mall.
Steinberg's been cheating to the side where Vero and Chrissy Lozon have been. So I wonder if we see moving him and then attacking to his right side, or if he's able to call concepts like that where, as much as Steinberg's cheating, he can't cover everything horizontally and vertically.
So if you're Joe Maher right here, Pease, what are you doing? What are you calling in the end zone? You're close. You're not too far away.
You need first of all, you have a couple plays, so you can send 3 levels. You can send something really quick. You can send something outbreaking at the intermediate level, and something at the back of the end zone as well. I don't need to tell Joe Maher what place to call. He's about as good as it comes in FPF.
He gets to stand down. He's looking to his right. He's going to run to the end zone. Can he get there? And it
looks like a flag guard.
Yeah, it's going to be a flag guard, I believe, against the quarterback.
Unintentional flag guard. Oh, wait. No, it looks like a false start.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Brent Young calling for the false start right there. Legal procedure going against the Northern Braves. So that's going to back them up 5 more yards.
Yeah, it also should be illegal that if you can throw as well as Joe Maher, maybe you shouldn't be able to run that well. Like, that's not fair. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we even doing here? We're well within 5 plays here. And Joe Maher has to take another shot.
So, again, 5 yards back. Now, as a quarterback, is moving back 5 yards from the end zone.
I love this. Is my favorite spot on the field. So I imagine it's the same. He had a wide open receiver in the middle. Instead, there we go.
Sebastien Chrissy Loison for big catch, bailing out his team right there. So now the lead is 26, should be 18 right now. Yeah, 26-18. So the Northern Braves, of course, are going to go for 2, looking to get it up to 20 to make it a 6-point game.
Yeah, he had a wide open receiver in Laurent Beauchamp. She was wide open in the middle of the field. We saw her name come up on the screen here, but of course that touchdown going to Sébastien Christian Lauzon. And they switch. He goes to the outside now with Véro dropping back. Véro with the ball in his hands.
Véro looking to his left, and a fastball right there to Pierre Saint. He's able to make the catch, keep the ball off the turf.
I like the point to referee Jason Leclerc. Like, you saw that, right? You saw it. We're on the same page?
So now the lead for Fast and Furious is 26-20. The Braves with a little momentum now. Can they get a stop here defensively before we hit halftime?
Absolutely. It's what they'll need to do. It's what they'll need to do. I'm not sure because I missed the 5-play call. So do you know how many plays there are? There are...
I think it's 3.
3. Let's say 3, and then we'll adjust if it's not.
So Gibbon now leading his offense onto the field.
It looks like 2 or 1, to be honest, with how Joma is positioned. It looks like straight up cover 3. It is.
Gibbon gets the ball. Throws a shot.
Oh, and picked up!
Pierre Saint. Pierre Saint now gets past one tackle to another. Oh, no, he's tackled. Good tackle right there by Valliere. She stopped the touchdown, a pick 6.
Yeah. She's, again, like her defensive ability. She's also an incredible receiver, but her defensive ability making the play for them there, that was huge. Mike Pierre Saint, again, we talked about obviously how great he is as a snapper, but defensively, the dude never gets his credit. He's so good at finding the ball, especially defending from the flats, defending that intermediate area, and going with the flow of what the offense is calling. He's really good at dissecting the concept and attacking what you're trying to do on offense.
So big mistake right there for Fast and Furious. The Northern Braves, looking to capitalize, looking to tie this game up at 26-26 in the dying moments of the first half.
Yeah, that's a huge play. If they can score here, that's a huge momentum swing.
Pierre Saint snaps it to Maheu. Véro dropping back again is a double option at quarterback. He gets the pass from Maheu. Véro now still with it. He throws a pass to the end zone.
It's caught!
It's caught back in the end zone.
I thought he might have stepped out. I thought he might have stepped out. Maybe worth a look. I thought he might have stepped out before he caught it.
So
I mean, he's inbounds. I thought he stepped out before that, but based on the replay here, I don't know if they're gonna have the right angle for it. That's huge because Northern Braves will get the ball back to start the second half.
So in 4 plays, what was a 20-12 lead for Fast and Not Furious is now we're seeing a 26-26.
So I know you're a Knicks fan, but are Fast and Not Furious Knicks fans? Because that's what it feels like.
Easy. Last time I checked, we won last night.
I know. Look, I'm always going to do this. Doesn't matter who I'm doing the broadcast with.
Aren't you a Heat fan?
I'm an NBA fan. I love the league and I love watching greatness, but I don't commit to a single team.
That sounds like Mo Khan talking about his Raiders there for a couple years ago, where he was a striking fan, quote unquote.
I'm like Rob Lowe. I wear the NFL hat, you know. I just show up to the NBA. I like good organizations, so I don't like the Knicks.
Fair enough. That's fair. When we get rid of James Dolan, then we'll talk. But as I was saying, so what was a 26-12 lead for Fast and Furious in a matter of 4 plays? It's seen them now. It's 26-26. The Northern Braves have tied it up, and they have a chance now, I believe, with the conversion attempt here to get their first lead of the game. Absolutely.
That's huge, dude. Like you said, like this was a 2-score lead, and then I blinked. And like we talked about, the thing Miles Gibbons struggles with, not struggles because you can't be that good and have struggles, but you know what I mean? Like if there is a weak spot in his FPF game, it's exactly that. It's that intermediate area that he struggles at hitting.
You see replay going on right now. So you mentioned on a touchdown catch there by Chrissy Loazon, his second of the last couple minutes, he might have stepped out of bounds, or he might have caught the ball.
I thought he caught it. He landed in bounds, but I thought I saw him step out of bounds and come back in.
Yeah, so that'd be illegal participation. That's a call that we called a couple of times last game. Iggy and I had about 2 or 3 times where we had to call that. We're just waiting on the official.
I don't know. I don't know if we have a look at it. I don't know if we have a clean shot at him before he catches the ball. Because from the overhead angle, like we're looking at it live, Brent, like we have a bit of a distorted angle. So from here, it looked like he stepped up. But again, we don't have the best angle. If it was on this near sideline, we could have more of an input. But
like a pylon cam would be great.
yes,
Back of the end zone.
let's spend Rob's money.
Exactly.
we need 8 more cameras. That would be ideal. Maybe a drone. Maybe a new complex. Would be nice. Or I could just crash. I could spend the night. I have to go home and come back for tomorrow's broadcasts.
So again, this is the second time these teams are meeting in just the last couple of weeks. The Northern Braves beating Fast and Furious by a score of 33-26 back in Week 10, right here at Broussard. The Northern Braves were up 20-6 at halftime. Fast and Furious stormed back though in the second half to outscore the Braves 20-13.
I got a question for you, and it's about as serious as it comes. Fast and Furious, right? They've been in FPF a little while now. This version of the team is equivalent to which Fast and Furious movie?
It's a good question. I mean, the last one was horrible. Tokyo Drift was horrible.
I'm a Tokyo Drift apologist, personally. I know it's not the same. It's not their fault that Paul Walker and Vin Diesel didn't extend their contracts, but whatever. I digress. To me, this is the best version of the team, so it's a Fast 5. This is where they turn the franchise around, right?
Yeah, Fast 5 was good. Fast Furious 1, I thought 1 was really good.
1 was it was gone in 60 seconds, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true. 2 was all right, too. I wasn't mad at 2.
I like 2 Fast and Furious, absolutely. Yeah. I have it on DVD.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. I don't know about you, but I refuse to get rid of my DVDs. I have too many. I've given a lot away, but for the core ones, like a Shawshank Redemption, stuff like that, you got to keep it.
I finally did it. I finally got rid of the last remaining ones. Except for, I forget, there's like a couple things. We have like 5 left. Like, I gave out the rest of them because we're making room for the nursery, of course.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you, bud. But I didn't realize how much garbage I had in the house, and most of them being DVDs and Blu-rays. So, given that my child won't know what those are.
So what they're saying is, so the touchdown's being waved off now.
Do we know why?
I believe they're saying that legal participation would be my best guess right now. We're going to get the official word from Leo Gervais. But now, at least the first half is over now because that was the last play of the first half.
That's wild. We'll get a note from Leo Gervais to explain exactly what the outcome of that replay was.
So
kudos to our camera team, though, to be able to get the right angles to be able to get that in. Brent, it's halftime. We need to be in halftime position. We are on camera. And Leo said, awesome. This is a very professional outfit, guys. What are we talking about?
So as we saw, it was supposed to be 26-26.
Yeah.
The touchdown, what appeared to be a touchdown catch by Chrissy Loison, ended up being waved off. So it's now a 26-20 lead for Fast and Furious over the Northern Braves.
You know, it actually is a different thing that happened than we thought. I thought it might have been illegal participation, but I didn't think we had the camera angle, so I was shocked to see that overturned. Instead, it was a sack. João Maher was sacked by Jessica Bostap, and we talked about her impact early in this game. She had a huge impact to end the half because she sacked João Maher before Christy Lozon came down with the ball.
So that's her second sack of the game, and I believe now it's going to be her 7th of the postseason. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
And even on plays where she's not getting sacks, she's creating difficult throws for João Maher, which I didn't think was possible. Like, you basically said, hey, Peas, there's unicorns in this corner. I'm like, all right, I don't believe you. And check it out. There's unicorns, and one of their names is Jessica Bostappen. Straight up. So that's all it is.
Guess I got to ask you now, if you're the Northern Braves, how do you shake off what happened? We saw they thought they tied the game. Now they start the second half with the ball, as you were saying a few minutes ago. How do you shake off what happened and march down the field?
What you do is, if you're João Maher, even though you know you were sacked, you go back and you say, hey, that was bullshit. They made a terrible call. You know that was a touchdown. We all know it's a touchdown. They know it's a touchdown. We're going to take away the sideline fades. We know what's happening now. We're going to force Miles Gibbon to attack that intermediate area, and we're going to keep moving. And we're Northern Braves. No one stopped us yet. They're not going to stop us now.
And switch sides. I mean, you look at Fast and Furious. What have you liked out of what you've seen so far in the first half?
Honestly, their speed. Their speed's been a lot to contend with. I love how difficult Jessica Bostappen's made the life of João Maher. James Drysdale, Kwesi Gordon-Mull going down that sideline at ease with no issues whatsoever. Defensively, they're taking away the first and second look for João Maher really often, which doesn't happen that much. And they're seeing how much he depends on Georges Garipi on a normal basis. Yeah, sure, he has to be saying Christy Lozon. Cool. You have one dude who can go get the ball anywhere. You don't have both of them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, this offense missing a huge piece in Georges Garipi.
That's his nickname, the huge piece.
The bus driver, actually, I thought was
his
his
name.
nickname. Yeah.
There was something about a mullet a couple of seasons ago. I don't remember. We give so many nicknames, I don't remember half of them. At the electric mullet? Sure. The electric mullet, George Gary P. Not in here. But yeah, it's honestly, I'm shocked. I thought this game at worst would be tied, and Fast and Furious would have to make a late push to come back to win this game. I didn't think they would have control at halftime the way they have.
And since they have the control, what do they need to do now to make sure they come out of here with the W?
Look, keep taking what they give you. Miles Gibbon, avoid those trap plays. Avoid the plays where you think a dude's wide open at the 10 to 12-yard range. They're baiting you. They're trying to take it away. And a lot of times, like Miles Gibbon, I know that sideline fade's been open, but if they're going to abandon and take away that deep throw, check it down. Ryan Dobbs is a really good snapper. He doesn't shut up, but he's a great snapper. So, like, feed him the ball. Get the ball to Rachel Valliere. Get the ball to players who are really good in space, and those are the two. And, you know, another one who caught some deep passes, caught some balls in the air, Kwesi Gordon-Mall. Send him on drag. Send him on quick outs. Like, he's so good with the ball in his hands. Let's see more of that.
All right, so already the second half has been whistled in. The teams are leaving their sideline. So you talked about what Fast and Furious needs to do.
All right, so we know that Iggy's a better quarterback than I am, but who's better at color commentary?
No comment.
No, you gotta answer. This is sport. Listen, it's LeBron or Jordan. You have one choice at all times in sports media. You can't walk away.
Got to be peas.
There we go.
Okay, so we talked about peas. Obviously, what the Braves, Northern Braves, need to do on the first drive. What do they need to do to come in here with the W?
For Braves?
Yep.
Well, honestly, Joe Maher's got to be more of himself. Maybe take a step back and maybe just start hitting some quick passes to offset the speed of just Gabon get your offense in rhythm. And attack that left sideline. It's open. It's been open all game.
Maher gets the ball. He looks to over the middle now, right to Pierce. He tries the duck move there. He's tackled though by Steinberg.
And Joe Maher has been locked in the middle of the field. Great catch by Pierce in the middle of the field. Great flag as well. But again, Chris Verreau had 10 yards in front of him on the sideline. It's been there the entire time. Like, again, shout out to Tyler McPherson. He understands what Verreau is, and he knows he's got to give him room. But Joe Maher's going to see that too.
Gets a snap now. First down. Right over the middle of Pierce. Gets past one tackle. Almost got past another. Taken down though by Pierce. Just about 4 to 5 yards shy of the end zone. Yeah,
Kwesi Gordon-Mall, of course, we talked about his speed and his ability in space. But Mike Pierce, he's about as good as there is in getting yak.
I'll tell you, I played on Mike Pierce. I played with Mike Pierce. He was on my team last summer, and he was a game changer. Both sides of the ball. You talked about before.
Great teammate too.
Yeah, great guy, stand-up guy, great teammate. He's a leader as well. And one of the moves he and the rest of the Braves team in Division 1 have been working on going back to last year is that dip move. We've seen him unleash that a couple of times here today. Verreau catches the ball. Not into the end zone. Yeah, they're saying he's down at about maybe the 1 or 2 yard line.
Great play design. Tyler McPherson drawn in to protect against the slant, the quick out going out, and basically Joe Maher was just watching who he'd pick, and he gave up the quick out. I thought he was in.
No, it looks like he's in now. Jason Leclerc, the referee, right in front. He didn't say it was a touchdown, but we see right now the Braves are going for 2, so it is a
touchdown. Touchdown! Chris Verreau.
Pass Beauchamp. She bobbled it as she fell down.
Oh, that might be worth a review. I thought she secured it before she hit the ground.
I think though her knees were on the sideline, though, or was that?
Are we going to see a replay here? Of the
that was Baudouin, pardon me. That wasn't Beauchamp.
You keep doing it. I know.
It's the 1 and the 7. It's the 1 and the 7 on the
The numbers aren't as clear to us up here
yeah, exactly.
than it is for the viewers at home, which thank you for joining us on Facebook Live, and for those of you who are watching the replay on YouTube. Look at us being all professional and stuff.
There you go. So it's 26-26. It's a tie game. A little later than what the Braves thought it would happen. Here's a pass down the left sideline. Steinberg open. Oh, the pass went right through his hands.
That's a perfect ball. And Steinberg knows it too.
Gibbon threw a dime to Steinberg. He got past the press coverage there by Piercin. Couldn't come up with the catch.
It's shocking to me that Mike Piercin let him have a free release. Like, Mike Piercin is known to be an aggressive defender. He's known to cut off angles. And like both guys kind of know they messed up. Like, look at Pierce's body language. Look at Steinberg's body language after the drop. Well, let's not call it a drop because it went through his hands. But like both guys know they could have made a play there. Chris Verreau line up really inside shade on the outside.
Gibbons goes to the flats to Dobbs.
That's been there, by the way. He can hit up Dobbs until they adjust all drive long.
We see Beauchamp there with the tackle, and that is 100% Lauriane Beauchamp.
There we
number
go.
7.
Person confirmed.
She's right number 7, as is her boyfriend Jonathan Mahir.
Couple of 7s. Yeah. Thought that was illegal. But anyway, let's do it. Joma patrolling the middle of the defense, tightening the defense, it looks like Braves, but now Joma dropping back, and that outside shade being given again to Kizgun Mall.
Give it on the slant, pardon me, to Steinberg. Gets past one tackle in the second. No, Pierre saying with the tackle. Going to be a first down, though, for Fast Not Furious. Good job there by Steinberg.
So, again, I get that those sideline fades are there. I get that Miles Gibbons great throwing it, but they've scared off Northern Braves enough. They can hit up underneath, and, like, it kind of feels, even though it's a tie game, but correct me if I'm wrong, Brent, doesn't it feel like that Fast and Furious are in control of this game? That even though it's tied, like, this is kind of, they're in control, and Northern Braves are starting to reel a little bit.
I think what it is right here with Fast and Furious is they're being a ball control offense. They know the deep ball is there no matter what. But what you want to do is you want to throw these short passes. As you see right there, when the Dobbs, as you mentioned, has been open all game. You want to start doing that more often. So you cause your defenders to cheat down us a little bit. You can take the deep shot if you want, but if you're Fast and Furious right now, you have to imagine the Braves have made some second half adjustments, right, against the deep ball.
Well, that said, it was open.
Yeah,
in the first play. I will say it's kind of nice to be here criticizing Joma and Miles Gibbon, where you can see the entire field. Like, this is obviously open, as Miles Gibbon gets ready to receive the snap.
So Gibbon gets it. He looks to his right. Throws it to Valier. Nice catch by her on the hook pattern.
Shockingly, her first catch of the game.
Yeah, again, she's a great player. She's a great player. It's a shame, though, she's not getting the ball more often.
Well, she hasn't needed it, right? Like early on in the game, when you're hitting those sideline fades, they're open. I get it. It's great. But, look, that's the adjustment. You talked about the adjustment Northern Braves had to make. That's an adjustment where I'm sure the receivers went back and said, listen, man, Miles, you're hitting that sideline fade, great. But also notice, like, there's guys, there's folks here running underneath, and it's open.
So Valier, that's her third catch of the postseason. Gibbon gets a snap, looking for the out route there. Alan Beckles makes the catch. He's tackled at the 1 yard line by Carisi Loison.
Bit of a size mismatch. That's Alan Beckles, as great as she is. Sebastien Loison is just huge.
and we see now Loison is in there. He replaced Mike Pierce-Saint. So Mike Pierce-Saint, we talked about before, he gave up the deep ball to Steinberg. For as good as Pierce-Saint is, he doesn't really play the corner that much. He plays the inside.
He's a great flat defender and a good deep ball defender, but it's not his
specialty. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we see here Crisillo's zone now on the outside on the island.
So Ryan Dodds giving some last minute instructions to his quarterback, letting him know maybe a change in the route perhaps that was called in the huddle.
Getting to the center of the field.
That too, that would help.
Yeah, we need lines.
Dobbs snaps the ball. Gibbon now looking over the middle, right to Dobbs, touchdown.
We talked about it early. Dobbs is open from the end zone. Oh, there's a penalty though. We'll see what it is. But we talked about how Dobbs is open in front of the end zone early on a convert, and Miles Gibbon just ignored it. This time staying with his progression, actually reading it properly, and staying with it, letting Dobbs find that space in behind the middle defender.
So, yeah, it's going to be offensive interference against Fast Not Furious.
That's huge. That's huge. Not so fast, Pizza Boy. Too fast, too furious reference for you.
Not sure what number that actually might have been against Dobbs, maybe creating a bit of contact.
I didn't see it personally, but we'll see it if it comes up on the replay. Hopefully, we'll be able to take a look.
By the way, it's going to be
that's you, production booth.
Down. So we see the replay right
there. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
didn't see it.
Oh, nonetheless.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I didn't see it.
Well, the call will stand whether we see it or not. So the Northern Braves now catching a bit of a break here.
Yeah, that was huge. There is some confusion.
So unnecessary contact.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's a different penalty.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Offensive pass interference. So they set the penalty. So it's going to be a loss of 10 yards, and repeat the down.
And again, so like we talked about how, like, for a lot of quarterbacks, this is their preferred spot in the field. This is that part of the game where Miles Gibbon has not become elite yet. He's still really good. He's just not at that level. So I wonder what they'll do. Nope, I'm wrong.
He launches a rocket right over the middle of the Dobbs, who gets it now for the touchdown on the second try.
Dobbs pretending like anybody thought he wouldn't catch that. So it was just a ball in your chest, bro. No, honestly, that Ryan Dobbs was open a lot in the first half, and Miles Gibbon again falling in love with the deep ball, and sure, it worked out. But hey, you got talent underneath. You got that trio in the middle of Ryan Dobbs and Kalen Beckles and Rachel Valliere. That's about as deep as any team is in Quad 1. Use it. Here on the convert, now going for one.
Yeah, 1 point convert here. Pass and out route. Nice design right there. Catching the ball was number 00, and that's going to be Kia Allen Beckles there with the catch. A big one. Extending the lead now 33-26 for her team.
Yeah, absolutely. And, man, when Miles Gibbon throws you that fastball, you got to hold on for your dear life. Like, it's perfectly located. It's really catchable because it's perfectly thrown, but it's coming in hot.
So Dobbs, who had one touchdown against the Northern Braves in the regular season, has another one here tonight in the playoffs for the championship. Wide open, there's Ferro. Nice catch by him. That pass piece was behind him. He turned around in midair and made the catch.
But we talk about ball placement. I know he could have probably let him a little bit upfield, but that's indefensible. That's not defensible. You can't do anything. That's just perfectly placed, and a great throw by Joe Mayer.
Yeah, great catch there by Vero. Vero was held catchless in the first meeting, so a big catch right there by him.
He's had a huge role in this game. He's been big for them in the absence of, again, we talked about how Mike Percé tends, not Mike Percé, but Georges Galipi tends to play that left wide out position.
Yep. Vero has had a good game catching the ball and throwing the ball as well for the team. And a pass right there. A little bit of miscommunication. That pass intended for Baudouin. A little bit off target. I think maybe the quarterback thought she was going to hesitate on the slant a little bit.
Absolutely. That's just the communication thing. It's first down, doesn't really matter. Better to throw it to the ground and play for another down. And there's not a better quarterback at the patience and living for another down than Joe Mayer. That's honestly, like, I know Kevin Wyeth is Kevin Wyeth, but Joe Mayer's patience is really something to behold.
So second down now from about the 11-yard line. Mayer gets a snap. He looks to his left. Throws a fastball over to the right-hand side between two defenders. That was Baudouin, Carisi Loison. Neither one of them could come up with the catch.
Yeah, that's they had a lot of receivers there. Nobody able to get there. A little bit off target. Now it's third down. What do you think Joe Mayer goes with here?
I think he needs to hit a snapper. He needs to hit Mike Pierce. Pierce's been killing.
And look, Pierce is the type where he can still get into the end zone even if he's short. If not, you can live for fourth down, right?
Yeah. I mean, and if you're short, I mean, with his agility, this helps you right here. Pass over the middle.
That's a great ball. Oh my god! Yo, you gotta get this on replay because that ball placement was stupid. It was in the perfect window. Chris Farrell. Look, man, there's a lot of dudes with the same names in the FF. Reaching out, he put his hands out there, full extension. Great throw, great catch. We talked about Chris Ferro having a huge impact in this game. None bigger, perhaps, than that play. 33-32. Braves going for one? I
almost never see that. Actually, you know what, though? In the last meeting, they were 3 for 4 going for one. So pass right there, knocked away. Oh, pass interference. So
yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, Steinberg looks like he had a hold of Pierce.
Well, Pierce, like, he does tend to draw that because of how quickly he comes out of his break, right?
Yep, that's true. So what the Northern Braves can do now is they can go for 2, but from the 2-yard line, where you would usually normally, go for a 1-point conversion.
Absolutely. And that really plays to their strengths, right? Because that gives them every possibility, and the idea that they can go for 2.
Two from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, from the 5, exactly.
You have to call indeed his pass interference against Marvin Steinberg, number 0.
Do you want to try that tight window throw again? If you're Joe Mayer and the Braves, like, you have the timing down, you just ran it.
He's good enough to do it. I wouldn't go back to the well too many times. You want to kind of say that. I'd say that for maybe my last drive, perhaps. But I mean, he's good enough to pull it off.
Maybe like a slanted corner, hit back of the end zone.
Maybe he gets a snap. Looks over the middle. Quick pass to the left. Vero, nice catch.
It's the same concept or similar concept where they got McPherson kind of caught on an island. He had to choose between the in-breaking receiver. He had to hold position there, and then that fastball thrown to Chris Ferro. That sideline has been there. Joe Maheu, when he's gone there, has been effective. No real adjustment on that side of the ball for Fast Not Furious. Maybe a little coming in a little cocky defensively in the second half after what they did in the first half.
So, Peter, when I asked you, being a quarterback, do you think right now it's time to go back to the number one target? We haven't seen James Drysdale.
If they're going to keep giving that outside shade to Drysdale, I don't. Well, I mean, they're dropping deep though. Yeah, that first read from Miles Gibbon was Drysdale on the sideline. I believe Drysdale had the choice to take it up top or go to the sideline, but now Verreau is playing so deep that they'll give you underneath. They'll force him to march.
So we saw on the opposite sideline that pass. It was a hook there to Kwesi Gordon on the sideline. He ended up picking up the first down. If you're Drysdale, do you tell him to do the same thing? I mean, if they're playing so deep, maybe just deep hooks.
It's going to be there because look deep and inside shade. And Joe Maheu is slacking off on the sideline as well. We talked about Mike Piercin not typically playing the corner. He's shifted to the 3 position.
Yeah, he has played a lot of safety as well.
Yeah.
He has played a lot of safety. I know for my team, he played a bit of safety for like the first half of the season at least. He played safety for us.
He's a good dude to have in a 3 because he can drop, he can crash, he can shift, he can do a lot of things for this team, and they have the personnel to do it.
First down now, after it was picked up by Dobbs, extending this drive for Fast Not Furious. Gibbon gets a snap. He throws to his left again. And, a little too high there. A little too much mustard on that pass.
Maheu was crashing this time, though. Maheu gave him that drop look and then came underneath. Safe throw to Kwesi Gordon Mall. I don't know if it was quite on target, but it was Kwesi or no one. Man, these two guys, when they put their foot in the gas, thrown to the outside, that ball gets there in a hurry. That's the thing I say when I'm buying time for Brent, for those at home. It's a technique I use.
So about 6.5 minutes remaining in this contest. Gibbon gets a snap. He looks to his left. He goes over the middle. And a rare drop there by Gordon Mall on a slant.
It looked like a timing issue because Kwesi Gordon Mall and Ryan Dobbs got to the same spot at the same time. Exactly. And you saw Kwesi slow down and then have to reach out for the ball.
That's exactly what it was because he's a guy who does not drop balls often. But you could see that was all about the timing right there and having a receiver cross your face or be in your area, especially if they're on your team, kind of distract you for half a second. I think that's what happened.
You're also not sure if it's a defender. Maybe you got to sit. Oh, no, I gotta keep going. And there you go.
Gibbon now going to the end zone. A lofter. And Dobbs can't come down with the catch. Good coverage there by Mike Piercin. Dobbs looking for a flag. He's not going to get one.
That's another classic Mike Piercin move is, not that I think that was a penalty because I thought that was clean. But when a guy goes down with him, to sell it to the ref, he reaches down and help the guy up, be the consummate gentleman,
So we see a quick substitution. Jonathan Robillard coming off. Chrissy Loison coming back on now for the Northern Braves defense. So it looks like Northern Braves want to get a bit more height, a bit more size in red zone here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting decision to make. I like it. And now Chrissy Loison playing that 3 as Mike Piercin shifts to his left side and kind of playing right on top of Chris Verreau.
Gibbon now tries to get free, toss to the end zone. Valier was open, but the pass is way too wide. And it looks like Gibbon is hurt. Gibbon was trying to avoid the rush right there, and it looks like he made a tweet something.
Yeah, well, we talked about how he came in with that hamstring injury. I think he'll tough it up, but man, a hamstring, groin injury, that area is so difficult to deal with.
The rest provided by Tamara Journeau, an underrated player on this Northern Braves squad, and they have forced a turnover on downs now. So for 34-33 lead right here, the Braves have a chance to extend it a little further on this drive.
So we'll see if there's been any adjustments. So far on defense, it's the same kind of look we've been getting. James Drysdale really being on top of Chrissy Loison.
Here gets it. He throws to his left to Vero again. Drysdale with the tackle.
It's an easy completion. James Drysdale way to close out and make sure that nothing extra was gained. But honestly, they're going to have to either find a way to undercut that throw or start to press up a little bit.
So Obviously, didn't gain a 7 on the play right there by Vero.
And if James Drysdale is able to undercut it, they need a crossing route over top. Because if he's vacating his zone to take away that hook, then there's going to be something behind him.
So we see trips left now. Lorian Beauchamp,
I think this
number 7.
is what we're looking at.
She's lined up on the left. So receiver on the right is Baudouin. Option pass again to Vero. He's just going to run. Gets past one tackle, not another. Finally taken down by McPherson. But it's going to be enough for the first down for the Northern Braves. McPherson's slow to get up now on the sideline.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I don't want to sound like I'm picking on Tyler McPherson because he's a really good defender. And just like anybody else, he has some strengths, he has some weaknesses. We saw his strength right there. He can close out in space. He can cover a lot of ground. And they're looking at that left side, however, and they're hitting up short. Basically, Vero looking upfield, and he says, "Hey, I can make a play here. I can beat these guys." And that's what he did.
So 1st and 10 now for the Northern Braves offense. Just inside of 3 minutes remaining now in the second half. Pearson snaps it to Mejia. Mejia looks to his right. He gets right back to his snapper. 1-on-1 against Gordon Mall. Nice tackle right there by Kwesi Gordon Mall.
Yeah, we saw there. It looked like Piaste didn't even set his feet before snapping the ball. Like the ball may never have even touched the ground for all I know. That's how quickly the snap came out. I believe Laurier Beauchamp was open. Oh, sorry, not Laurier. I made the same mistake you made.
It's Baudouin.
Baudouin on the outside. I believe had he held the ball for a half a second, it would have attracted the defender and Kwesi Gordon Mall, and I think he had the receiver over top. But quick delivery there from Jomel.
That's going to be 2nd and about 6 here. Mejia gets a snap. Goes back to Vero again in the option position. Shakes one man. He's just going to run with it.
I mean, if he can do that, why not? Why not? You know, like if you can catch the rusher off balance, in this case, it's the primary rusher. Where even if they send a second rusher, that's an opportunity for you to just go get the free yards.
So he's finally taken down by Steinberg, short of the goal line. The ball's at about the 7, maybe 8-yard line here.
For those watching at home and who haven't played someone like Jomel, you'll notice that a lot of times they don't send a second rusher like they do in lower divisions. The reason why is because the second you send a second rusher, you're removing a player from coverage, and then Jomel will just complete the easy pass. It's such a tall ask for a defense to have to defend when you have Jomel at quarterback and someone like Chris Vero who can run and throw as well.
So he gets a snap now, looks to his right. He rolls out in that direction. Evades the sack, throws it away.
Great pressure by Bostappen.
Bostappen, yeah, fantastic pressure right there. We talked about she had a great first half, 2 sacks. She hasn't got one so far in the second half, but a big play right there.
Pressure was all on her. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. That lack of conversion on that play, that's all on Jessica Bostappen. I don't know if I'm picking an MVP / a Vin Diesel for Fast Not Furious. I'm not sure if I'm not picking Jessica Bostappen.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Honestly, I mean, the impact she's had on this game. Listen, this is the Braves team, right? You look at the Northern Braves team, pardon me. You look at this team's offense. They were the highest scoring offense, 418 points in the regular season, right? They're holding them right now to 34. That's not too bad.
Yeah, and the clock winds down. Again, unofficial, but it looks to be like we're just outside of 5 plays.
Yeah, less than 30 seconds.
Maybe.
Give or take, it's a ballpark number right there, ballpark figure, if you will.
Jomel taking his sweet time,
he
too.
Looks to his left, over the middle.
Great catch.
Not sure out of bounds, though. Lorian Beauchamp made the catch falling down, but she was out of bounds.
Yeah, honestly, great ability to hold on to the ball and just not able to pull it in. I felt as though Jomel led the ball away from her body unnecessarily on that play, but maybe not the worst time to use up an extra play there.
Yeah, it's true.
We've seen how quickly Miles Gibbon can score against this team, right? So not a bad situation to be in.
So right now, obviously, the Fast and Furious squad looking to get a stop here. I mean, again, they're down by 1. They're down 34-33. So now, please, I got to ask you, would you let them score here to get the ball back?
Well, you're down already. So you kind of might as well. Because if you have a lead, I have a hard time letting the other team score. Trust your defense. But if they already have a lead, all you're doing is wasting time. Your goal should be stopping the convert.
Because if I'm the Northern Braves right here now, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're the Northern Braves, if you're John Mahir, aren't you just throwing a couple of balls in the dirt, waste a couple of
I was
downs?
surprised he didn't throw that one away.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like it's hard to see a receiver that open and not take the score, and we're looking at it here. I believe it's being challenged. I do actually think she's out of bounds here, though.
Yeah, it's a clear out of
She
bounds.
is looking, she is dragging that foot, but I don't know if the other foot comes down before her knee comes down out of bounds. She did look right to Jason LeClaire being like, bro, come on. That was a sick catch. You know that was sick.
All right, so
Give it to me.
Before we get it rolling, let's just look quickly at how both teams got here. The Northern Braves beating the Girl Scouts by getting forfeit 60-0 in the quarterfinals, and then beating Funny Club 48-30 last Sunday at Lachine. Joe Mahia 17-20, 209 yards, passing 7 TDs.
Must be nice.
It's pretty phenomenal. Yeah,
Must be nice to be
that's
that
it.
good at anything.
Definitely. And looking at Fast Not Furious, how they got here, they beat Le Petit Flock 46-34 in the quarterfinals. Miles Gibbons, 249 yards, 7 TDs, and then they beat Free Smoke 32-24 in the semis last Sunday at Lachine. And Ryan Dobbs, actually, the snapper in this game, he played quarterback as Gibbons was unavailable. Dobbs going 25-31, 157 yards, 4 TDs, and 1 rush for 17 yards. And Dobbs is not the fastest guy in the world, so that 1 rush, that 17-yard average carrying the ball is pretty
I will
impressive.
say Dobbs is quicker than he looks.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. He is quicker than he looks. And a lady who we talked about a lot so far this evening, Jessica Bostappen, 2 sacks in that W.
Yeah, well, that's what she does. She eats quarterbacks alive.
Exactly. Hence why she's the Defensive Player of the Year. So right now, obviously, Fast and Furious hoping for a stop from their rusher.
There's either 4 seconds or no seconds left. So that's the information we have in the booth.
So Mahir gets a snap. He looks to his left, now to his right. Pass over the middle. Picked off or no? Wait.
I don't know what. Oh, it's a sack. Oh, that's an
Oof.
untimely sack for Fast and Furious.
So,
Worst time to make a great play.
Bostappen did make a great play. But again, I think they would have rather had to pick that pass on off the hands of Creasy Loison was picked up by Gordon Mall. So now 4th down with 5 plays left.
If they score here, Jessica Bostappen not player of the game, obviously because they'll lose, but also because that non-sack cost them. But if they win, she has to be player of the game. That's ridiculous.
100%. 100%.
That puts them in such a different spot here. Do they drop Chris Vale back?
Chris Verreau is actually my choice for player of the game if the Northern Braves win. But if I'm the Northern Braves right now, I drop him back. Because right now, for as good as the defense has played, in particular their rusher and Bostappen, the rest of the defense has had no answer for Verreau when he gets the ball as a quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. It's like we talked about. It's tough because you can't defend it the way you would defend a lot of quarterbacks when you have a guy like Joe Mayer. You have to kind of just bide your time. Yeah, so now it's 4th down. It's no time left, Brett. 34-33. This is everything you want from your Co-Ed 2 final. There is, on one end, the confident huddle of Joe Mayer. On the other side, Fast Not Furious. They got to love the position they're in while not feeling entirely comfortable because going up against them, of course, is one of the best arms in FPF history. It really, really makes for a great ending to this game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is what you played a regular season for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the unique thing about this league. I mean, listen, I've played youth sports. I've played ball at a lot of different levels, Quebec Major Junior. You work out, you have a workout plan, you have strength and conditioning coaches, so on and so forth. But a lot of guys and girls, too, and even some of the kids, they work out. And they get their bodies ready to play in this league because this is what this league is all about.
I wonder what that's like.
Fun. It's about the competition. And here we go. Yeah, Verreau's back as a QB option. They're sending no one to him. The rusher has to come down, pass to the end zone.
Oh, my God.
Christy Loison catches it.
There's a
Touchdown.
penalty. It's a touchdown. I don't know what's happening. Marvin Steinberg is very upset with the outcome of that play.
It's going to be on McPherson.
I think so as well. I think that's a touchdown. I think it's going to stand. The points are coming up on the board. It's 41-33 for the moment. We'll see what this call is.
Well, the touchdown still stands. I believe I saw a pass interference going against, or the flag going against the Fast Not Furious defense.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
Yeah, necessary contact.
Hey, you know what? Give it to the defense. The ball's in the air like that. You do whatever you can. Even if it's a penalty, you try and survive for the next play. Christopher Earl threw that potentially game-cementing touchdown. He's been great. He caught the touchdown before. Brent, to your point, I think if Northern Braves hang on to the win, I think he's the MVP.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, that play right there, we saw Vero getting the ball again, his QB option. The rusher was going back and forth between both players. It was just something you never want to do. You have to have the flat defender on whichever side the second QB is coming from, drop down.
But again, can you do that against Joe Mayer? Because the second that defender jumps up, Joe Mayer will attack right behind that defender.
I think you can, just for the sake that, because there's one less receiver in that area, right? I mean, that's the whole idea between dropping down the defender who is on the same side as the second quarterback.
Yeah. The play design, though, will send a receiver there.
True.
Often Mike Piercin or... but either way, ball went to Christy Lauzon for a touchdown.
Somebody here now gets a snap, a 40-33 lead. Dart over the middle, and it's caught. Yep, the one-point conversion is good.
41-33, 4 plays left.
And you can tell right now, Fast Not Furious does not agree with that call. They're saying that the receiver was out of bounds. We'll get the look here on the replay. And here again with a fastball in the back of the end zone.
Hard to see. It did look in. Hard to see, though.
Looks like maybe her second foot came down on that blue line.
Yeah. Hard to see exactly.
Are they going to challenge, though? We're going to have to see.
Honestly, if I'm them, what's the harm?
Exactly.
You might as well get the challenge in. Even if it costs you timeout, there's no time plays remaining.
Yeah, this is something you have to challenge here if you're.
Yeah, they don't need they don't need the onside kick. They don't need a timeout. They need the challenge. This would be huge. I'm not sure. Is it being challenged?
It looks like
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, so play has been whistled in by head referee Brent Young.
All right. I don't know if we had the angle to overturn it either way, but it's tough. Maybe if we slowed it down, we'd be able to see exactly where that foot came down. But just watching it like at full speed, it's tough. Northern Braves really backing off here. Mike Piercin back at the corner with Charles Véro. Christy Lauzon in the middle. Quick completion.
Yep.
Bust happen with the completion. Gets to half field. That's kind of where you want to be here at least.
So pickup of about 10 yards there. Yeah, it is going to be 10 yards, so it's enough for a first down. Now the lead right now for the Northern Braves is 42-33.
They almost need to score now.
Yeah.
Because they need to be able to take an onside kick.
Yeah, and that'll do it. Again, right now, yeah, being down 42-33. So it's a 9-point game. Yeah, it's a 9-point game. It's a 2-possession game, so that's why they're waving it off.
I thought there was 3 plays remaining.
No, but yeah, there are 3 plays remaining. But what Fast and Furious did is they elected to end the game because they're down by 2 scores.
But don't
They're
they?
up by 9.
Do they? If they have a timeout, they can go for an onside kick. So I'm very confused. Maybe they don't have a timeout left. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be the only explanation. Yeah, because you're right. If they had a timeout, they can score the touchdown and then go for the onside kick.
Correct.
But I'm assuming they didn't have a timeout left, hence why they elected to end the game.
All right. Well, strange ending.
So right now for the Northern Braves, I mean, as a team, this is their first championship under that banner, under that name. It's a 9th championship for Mike Piercin.
So we're going to go down to President and Commissioner Rob Campana as he presents the trophy, the banner, and the MVP.
All right, guys, we're down on field level.
To the
ready to
Northern
present
Braves
the award, the championship trophy to the Co-Ed 1 Winter 2023 champions. So Joe and team, Joe, they've won so many times they forget how to come pick it up here. Congratulations, félicitations, Joe. Champion, Champions Division 1 mixte hiver 2023. Voici la bannière.
All right. Je peux m'en aller?
Ouais, vas-y. Tiens, comme Darren. On présente aussi le trophée de championnat. Donc, voici. Puis, dernière chose à présenter, c'est le Finals MVP qui vient du booth en haut pour la 2e fois aujourd'hui. Chris Véro. Félicitations. Chris, parle-nous vite un petit moment de cette équipe Northern Braves. Tu as gagné en Co-Ed 3. Là, finalement, ici, avec une équipe avec beaucoup de joueurs et joueuses très connus dans notre ligue. Parle-nous un peu de l'expérience de jouer avec cette équipe.
Ah, c'est incroyable là, pour vrai de jouer avec cette gang-là. C'est tous des joueurs exceptionnels puis qui connaissent beaucoup le flag. Fait que c'est cool de pouvoir apprendre d'eux autres. Là.
Super. Félicitations, Chris.
Merci.
All right. Back up to you.
Chris Velo, as we said, winning the MVP, and Northern Braves winning the co-ed 1 championship.
Yeah, again, you look at what he did, right? 3 TD catches. He threw the game-winning TD pass. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Peter, I got to ask you, so you look at this Northern Braves team, the Little Bit Championships, right? It's number 9 for Mike Pierce, number 6 for Jonathan Mahieu, number 2, Sébastien Chrissy-Loison. Where do you think this team can go from here? Obviously,
more championships.
Yeah,
like there's a chance for a lot of these guys to win the Division 1 championship tomorrow, right? So, I remember an overnight tournament. Joe Mayo wasn't there, to my defense, but when I saw them play, I'm like, yeah, they're probably Div 3. I was wrong. They're really, really good, and it's so cool to be in a spot to see them challenge not only in Division 1 but also be able to challenge in co-ed with sort of a different formation of players as well.
So I got to ask you, I mean, at one point in this game, right, the Fast and Furious, they were up 26-12.
Yeah.
Where do you think it fell apart for them?
That interception by Miles Gibbon to Mike Persin, even, like, to me, like, even if they came out with the win, I would have a hard time giving Miles Gibbon that MVP. And it's not because of the fact that he threw an interception. It's fine. It happens. It's when he threw it. It was unnecessary. Literally taking sacks until halftime. At that point, it would have been a better option. It's literally the worst thing that could have happened. And I understand. that they didn't score at end of half, but it didn't help the momentum in the game at all.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for those guys, obviously, for Fast and Furious, where do you think they go from here?
Look, to me, they're the most talented team across the board. They're not, they don't have Joe Mayo, they don't have Georges Garapi, they don't have Mike Persin, but the talent across the board when it comes to Rachel Valliere and it comes to KL and Beckles and Jessica Postampin and the rest of the cast, it's as good as it gets. And I think as players like Marvin Steinberg move up into Division 1 and get that experience, that's going to put them on the same level as the Braves. Miles Gibbon as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we talked about Gibbons obviously is the quarterback of Double Strato, I believe, and the Bulldogs rather.
Bulldogs.
In Division 1.
But it's for a season. Like the more he plays there, the more the game will slow down.
Yeah. Going back again to the Northern Braves, right? I mean, they were down big. They came back. They weathered the storm. It's not the first half they wanted. I imagine even some points in the second half, they had 1 step forward, 2 steps back here and there. Speak to the resolve as a team and the experience that they had. Maybe perhaps do you think was able to guide them in this victory?
It's just that's what they do. Like we saw the Braves come back and beat Kangaroos or whatever version of that team that was last spring. We've seen them win with 5 players. Like it's just they're unkillable. It's like playing a team of zombies that just doesn't die. And they keep coming at you, and you think there's no more zombies, and you open the door, and there's more zombies. You open your fridge, and there's zombies. You go to the basement, and there's zombies. You wake up, there's zombies. You go to sleep, there's zombies. Like, that's what the Braves are. It's just a bunch of zombies. That's all I got. Listen, man.
Good comparison right there. Good analogy. Okay. So once again, from the Bell Sports Complex, the Northern Braves are your co-ed 1 champions with a 42-33 victory over Fast and Furious. He's Peas on Brent. Thanks for tuning in. And we have another game coming up next, which should be a good one.
The 4, baby.
All right.